DeepSeek, Copilot, just depending on whatever you use. Everything depends on the prompt. The way you actually prompt the application then depends on how the information it gives to you. So what I'll do right now is I'll paste this here and I'll say, right, three, status code. So I just say write me a Postman test script and include the status code. So we'll just run this through and see what then happens here. Now, from what we can see, it's literally just giving me every information I need on here in terms of my test script. This is a standard test script, right? This is what is given to me straight up. And I can decide to take this way because I understand everything.
I don't remember.
Sorry, is someone trying to speak? Hello?
You can continue, sir.
All right, thank you. Right. So I could literally copy this and just the way it is and paste it on my test script. I mean, let's even just do that. So see what. Right. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here, and I would. Yeah. So just let me just reload this page. Sorry, I think it's been a bit slow. 47. That's fine. Okay, right. Okay, so I'll just send this endpoint. Right, so as you can see on here, it gave me a 200. However, if you see what I was mentioning about you being able to also go through whatever information is given to you. So on here, it's showing that a particular test result actually failed on here. And we can easily, so let's see, we can trace that to be, because this is into 4, 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth one. So if it's pointing to the second one, I would know it should be this guy here. So let me just take up that and save it as well, then run that again. Now, as you can see, my test script is actually run and everything is looking very okay. So I think this was actually a very typical example of letting you know that in as much as the AI tools can increase this efficiency and productivity, they could actually hallucinate and give you something you do not need. And that's why I mentioned that for you to use them, for me to use it right now, I need to know and understand what is here. If I do not understand this, I just put it there, it fails, I don't understand what to do, I'm confused. So I will always advise for you to also have a knowledge on how to write a typical test script before you then go around and play with that. Also, I'll just keep this in from a security point of view. AI tools can also not be 100% trusted in terms of security. They could actually be hacked, and you have to be cautious of the informations you copy and paste on there. If we look on this is actually an information, but this information is more of a general information because it's out there, right? It is a book. Anyone, if you go check on the book, you will see the year it was published. You will see all of those information. You see all of those information online. So I'm very confident that if I put this on ChatGPT, I'm good to go. However, think of it of you testing from an application that say a bank application, and maybe the API was built to give you informations where you then have to see some information, some PII, personal identifiable information about a particular customer. You would not want to copy everything here and just go and slam it on what you call it, on ChatGPT. You would not want to do that because that could actually lead to it could lead to a data breach, right? And that would be very terrible. So if I'm asked a way to suggest to go about that, one thing I can say is if I let me just take this off. So if I copy this on here, and what I would typically do is paste it on maybe a notepad firstly on my system. Then if I have this as maybe someone's name, I might have to take that off and maybe just input something very random there. If it's the person's date of birth, I can easily take that out and put something very random there, something that doesn't really connect to that particular individual. So I could put just even if it's gibberish on there, right? So at that point, I know, okay, this is actually safe to some extent, right? Other than that, I also know if you also know you have some snippets here as well you can use in writing some of your test script. So for me, these are ways you can literally, if I'm able to test this on my own for let's say an hour, right? If I'm using an AI tool, I could test this in half an hour, right? It has saved me 30 minutes of my time. Automatically, it has improved my productivity and my efficiency, right? So I think this should be a very good pointer. Try and maximize AI as much as you can. One thing I will also say is the idea. There's always a discussion about if AI is coming to would take our will take people's job, right? Now, I think that's one for me. That is one part of the discussion. The second part of the discussion is would people who know how to leverage AI actually take other people's job? Because if someone is has an application or a tool that uses AI, they need someone who understands how to use AI and that tool to be able to work. So they would prefer someone that has that skill set than just someone random. So my advice there is always try and improve in anything you have to do with maybe your face of work or generally about AI, just pay very close attention to that, right? So I think this point I will come over here to the test rigor just to also give you a bit of insight from this point where how it works. I already initially showed us here that we could actually you could test your different test suits here, input all the information you need on here, depending on whatever you're testing. If you're testing like a desktop web testing, mobile or native hybrid mobile, you could actually do all of those on here. The good thing also with Test Rigor and other tools I've also seen is most of them are integrated with browser stack as well. So I mean, you have it seems if I put it this way, it seems they took everything from maybe other native automation tools and they integrated it into one. So you have almost everything in one, right? And for things like test rigor as well, you have the document. I have the documentation here, well documented. And if we go, oh, let's see a typical. Let me just take this a bit up to show. Right? So you will see this is like a documentation, for instance, for the test rigor. Right? If you see the syntaxes and the commands that are very, very straightforward on here, they let you know the action you can carry, which is a click. They let you know the different option. You can double click, you can triple click, right click, and all of those. And it says here, click Chrome in the context of this. It's just very straightforward. Click on the third hello 5 times. So it's as if you're conversing with someone, right? That's how most of all these no code test automation tools have actually been built. So it makes it like way, way easier for anyone who is in the tech space who doesn't have that skill to write programming language or who wants to increase their efficiencies. And trust me, with these tools, what I've noticed over the time is they keep adjusting and keep making it even more sophisticated while giving you a very simple user interface, right? So okay, I think we have like 15 minutes. So I know, like I mentioned, this was going to be like very short one. And I would have loved to start writing, but let me show you certain things here. I think I'll be random, like I mentioned. So let's assume I have these two test cases here, right? And what I want to then do is integrate this to my GitHub, right? So over here on the CI like CD integration, for instance, you're already automatically giving a bash or PowerShell script that you could use in integrating this directly with your GitHub, right? So if I come here, for instance, we could just do a practical on this. All I need to do is to copy all of this up to this point. And if I go to my GitHub, for instance, I already have one created here. I've played around with this today. I just hope just try and run this very fast because so I'll just do like a test. I'll create this just very first for this. I'll just create this as test, and I'll just create the repo. So over here, I have created this repo, and I'm trying to integrate my test repo now to my GitHub, right? So I will just go to action. So what I'm trying to do here right now is to create like a workflow, right? A workflow that each time that's integrated with test Rigor, and again for continuous integration. Also, it also helps for collaboration with the developer. The developer can be able to see, have visibility of what I'm also doing, right? So I can come here, I'll say set up a workflow yourself. I'll click this here, and right, so over here, all I need to do is to come here and paste this here, right? The first time I did this, I had an error here, and also let you know the importance or how personally I so much advocate for people to use AI tools. You do not really, if you use AI tools, you do not really, sometimes you don't really need to wait for someone to then say, oh, this is where the issue is. If I have someone who's like, let's say, a senior QA tester, and the person is not available at the time, and I need to meet up to a particular time, I don't, it will take me time. I'm waiting for the person 1, 2 hours for the person comes. I could easily prompt any of the AI to like ChatGPT or Deepfake to say, okay, I have this particular code or YAML file. This is the error it's giving me. Can you please let me know? And that was exactly what I did for this particular one. So I copied it and I pasted it. I had some issues and I did that, and it was able to fix that for me. So you put it on here. All you need to do, then you commit this. I'll just do this. Keep this like very simple as much as I can, just for the purpose of time as well. Right, so we have this now created. So I'll go back to the actions, and right, so we have test Rigor, which is what we used on there. And here you have run workflow. So if I click on run workflow, I've been having issues with this for today, my GitHub, but let's see what happens there. Yeah, so over here, as you can see on my runner, so okay, so over here, as you can see, is running the test already. And if we go over here, as you can see, it's saying in progress, it's already automatically triggered it, right? So I don't need to do much. So it's triggering this already. Some of this might fail because I use like a dummy. I use this orange HRM, so it's actually more like a dummy site for testing. So, however, this is just to let you see how you can actually leverage, and it's giving you here, you can see your test case have been executed, it's showing you here in progress. If you go over to your GitHub as well, it's also letting you know that this is actually being triggered right now. This might also take a bit of a time because I think one of these guy here, one of the test cases here has to do with uploading a file here, and it could take a bit of a time, but let's just see what happens. Right. So as you can see, you could easily integrate your your AI tools to GitHub, right? Now, just to also point out here, um, GitHub can trigger the test, right? But it doesn't sync any changes that has been done. So if there's any change that has been done, it doesn't really, so there's no really straight up connection between GitHub and your test Rigor in terms of maybe you going to do any update there, and it automatically updates your test record. There's no direct connection on there. But however, you can use your webhook to be able to sync it in a way where if you make any adjustment here on test rigor, you automatically then adjust on your GitHub. Now, if you see here, this has failed, and the reason why it has failed for sure, I know over here, if you log into this particular platform, which is also a test platform. So what they've done here is over here, this what you can see here that's looking like the profile section. This actually is very dynamic. So if I'm putting on my code, if I go to my code, so one thing about Git test rigor as well is that you can actually do like you can hard code. So if I open this up, I'll show you as well. Let's say edit test. Yeah, edit test, guys. Right. So this is my test case. As you can see, you have login and logout. Then you wonder where is actually the test itself actually written. So what I've done is I've actually more like, let's see here, no, not here. Yeah. So what I've done here is I've actually parameterized it on here. So this is my login. So this is everything login here. So instead of me having all of this here, all I've done is just use login basically, and it actually works with the parameterization on here. And this is my logout as well. Now, if you see, it says click on this and click on the logout button, right? So if we go to the application, we'll see that this is actually generic. So that has actually changed. So click here and click on logout, right? But this is generic, so automatically it will fail, and that's why we have our test being filled here. Yeah, that's why we have our test being filled here, right? So if I click on this as well, it will let you know. Let me see, there's something here. Okay. Right. So when I mentioned about I mentioned something initially that one good thing about these AI tools is you don't it helps you in every form of way. This is what is done here. Is let me know the old screen, right? This was initially successful, right? So it's giving me to say, oh, this guy was this screenshot here was the old one that was actually successful. However, he also points, I don't know if you can see that, yeah. So he also pointed on here to say, okay, this was what was initially there, and it has actually changed now. So if we go to this particular one that has failed, as you can see, that has changed. So you do not really have to start stressing yourself that much to figure out, oh, what's happening, why did it fail, and all of those. This AI tool automatically does all this for you, right? So that's one very good benefit actually using this. And if you come here, it will actually be able to let you see whatever has failed. And if you want to fix that as well, we can easily fix that also from this particular end, right? There's a replace selection, find all. Now, if you have different test cases that has a particular failure, you don't have to go and start looking for them individually. All you need to do is to find all here, then it gives you whatever it needs to be, then you replace all. Again, this is not like the best of demo itself just because of the time we have, but just if there's any other thing I want you to take out from here is to actually see how important AI tool can be able to help you increase your productivity and efficiency, and also how you can then start learning to leverage this AI tool to make things easier for you. Again, you have to start working smart and not like hard. And that I'm a very big fan of it. Work smart and not hard, right? So, right. So this actually replaces every single thing if we're actually able to go deep into this to show what it does. Also, in terms of little things like maybe uploading a file. Now, I have one here that has to do with uploading a file, right? And if we go to this particular, let's just edit this test case. And I was actually using this for the test. This is also like a sample test website where you could actually do all those. Unlike the typical Selenium and Cypress, where you have to then start looking for maybe the path. So let me just inspect this. Now, if I inspect this, if I'm to write like maybe a Selenium or a Cypress, I need to start getting maybe the ID, get this and that, and all those. For things like AI tools like Rigor, they've made this like really way easier. All I needed to do here was open this URL. Now enter, this is actually a syntax, right? Enter stored value, this into this. Now, so this is a file upload. This file upload is the only part I need from, let me go back here. That's the only part I need from this when I inspect. I only need this ID, and that's all I need, file upload. Once I input that file upload here, once I input that file upload here and also click on upload, check also, it helps in assertion, right? So this is check that the page contains file uploaded, right? So if we run this as well, let me just even run this, save and run. Right here. Now, so automatically it's running this. Okay, I think after this, that should be, yeah. So automatically is running this. I mean, this was the initial, you as you can see, it's giving you screenshots of what is done, and you can see how fast it can actually be. So this typically would take me, let's say another 10 to 15 minutes. Say, so let's say another 10 to 15 minutes, that would take me to run. But however, see how fast and efficient this AI tool has actually been able to give me all of this result. I mean, it's not done yet. I think it's still trying to check like some stuff. Also, in terms of their session, it checks their session to say, okay, file uploaded, and we have that to be very successful. Okay, I think we have just 3 minutes left, and have another session of after this. And like I mentioned, this was supposed to be just for an hour, and I hope I've been able to like at least speak to some extent how important using these AI tools can be. You could also recommend that. So some persons might say, "Oh, my company don't use this application," but again, you're not just there to test. You're actually part of a full team, if you're working like in an agile team, it's good for you to, if you explore this tool, you feel like this tool will be able to help increase the productivity and efficiency of the work we do. You could typically recommend it to your management, to your boss to say, oh, look at this tool, this is what it does. We can be able to use it to increase maybe our productivity tests and try and convince them for them to be able to use them, not just maybe just stick to maybe, oh, this is all we'll have. No. And yeah, I think I've been able to say a lot in a very short period of time. So if you have any information, any question, maybe we could just use the next 2 minutes to just ask those questions before we can call that a day. And feel free to also like reach out to me if you need any further insight on it on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to also assist.
Thank you so much, Morgan. Thanks a lot. Let's appreciate Morgan. For those who have questions, please do well to drop them in the chat. There's currently a poll on regarding this workshop. Please let's participate in the poll. Let's cast our votes. I know that Morgan had said he'd be available for just 1 hour. Today is a bit busy for him. So we're very grateful. I'm not seeing any reactions. Let's show our gratitude. Thanks a lot, Morgan. I have some questions I'll quickly take in 1 minute. Someone's asking if there's any other open source tool that is similar to Test Rigor that can be used.
Yeah, we have like a whole lot of them. If I will start thinking them off my head, we have Test Rigor, we have Max, I think it's MapLab Machine, we have Apply Tool, we have Percy. There's a whole lot of them, trust me. Or I would advise if you want to get these tools, just check online, just type online, or you could even use again, leverage any of the AI tools as well to get this information. They'll give you like a whole lot of it. And you really do not even necessarily need anyone to start teaching you. You could literally go on YouTube, right, and just search for these applications, and you would see like some information there on how to start using them.
All right, thanks a lot, Morgan. There was this exploratory tool you said you used once. Do you remember the name now? would be helpful.
Yeah, I think that was the sea light one. Sea lights. I think that
Can you
was
type
that.
it in the chat?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I'll just drop. I know I use sea light a bit and also coverage AI. I think let me just drop that here. Start,
Yes.
start.
While you're dropping those two in the chat, Olawale has a question as to how to handle tokens for APIs when
Mhm.
using the, I'm assuming, okay, he says he's working on demoqa.com, and his question is how to handle tokens for APIs, if I got that correctly. Yeah.
Okay. So for tokens for APIs, again, for when we do this testing, part of we are doing a bit of security testing, like if you from where I stand anyway, we are doing a bit of security testing. So if you have like a token, I think that will also depend on how that API has been built. However, let me see if this is possible. Let's see if there's something I can show here real quick. Just one moment. I'm running out of time, but uh, let's see. Token. Right. So for the token, right, you could have on your. Oh, let me just share my screen real quick, but I think this will just be it after I share. So I'll just show you how. Let's see here. Sorry. Go. This guy now. Okay. Right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's all.
Yeah, so typically for tokens, normally everyone would just basically most people would just go to authorization, and you have like the normal or basic or bearer token. So for bearer token, for instance, if you're doing that from the authorization point, all you need to do is to change the auth type to bearer token, and you input the token here and you save it, right? Again, it depends on how the API was actually built. You can also do that from the header. From the header here, you could just add authorization. And if you had, and I have say Vera, and so if you had code token, right, is a different thing, right? But if you don't have good decoding, the token, all you need to do is to paste the token here after the bearer token and you save, right? But however, if you've had coded the token, which is what personally for me I always encourage because it's just a part of security. All you then need to do here is to, if you see, just by typing this curly bracket, it will give me like some information on whatever I've hard coded, right? So if you've hard coded the token, right, and you're doing that all the way from your environment, right? If you hard coded it, once you just type on just the first curly bracket there, it gives you, you will be able to see that bearer token, and you can easily just say select it, and you just see like a blue tick like this, and you hover it, you can see the token. So my point would be you can either do it from the header part or you can also do it from the authorization part. So if that answers the question.
All right, thank you so much, Morgan. We're very, very grateful. I know we're out of time already. We hope to have a part 2 of this, based on the poll response. So we hope it will be at a time that you are more available, so that we don't stress you this much. I hope to have you again. Will you be willing to come back again?
Yeah. Maybe some other time. When it's more like
Yeah.
more convenient again. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I
No
think
problem. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much, Morgan, for the insightful session.
yeah. Thank you
Do
for having me. I appreciate
have a great day.
Thank you.
it.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right. Thank you
David,
very much.
thank
Yeah.
you. Morgan, thank you.
All right. Bye now. Thanks.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Morgan.
Has been on the call. Please do fill the poll.
Thank you,
I
Morgan.
see some of the responses already there. Thanks, guys, and see you during our next workshop or webinar. Do have a good Saturday.
Hope we get to see the recording of this section, please?
You will.
All right, thank you so much.